Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hi, I'm going to be concealing my eyelid using my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade number 20 Sand. I'm going to use this to cover up any redness or any veins on my eyelids, and then I'm going to set it with my favorite of all time, which is the Wet n Wild Contouring Palette. I'm going to use this Morphe and Kathleen Lights palette and a Real Techniques blending brush to use this Baby Puke Brown right on my crease. They don't have any names, so that is why I call it Baby Puke, because it kind of looks like a baby puke brown. I'm going to put this in the crease of my eyelid, and then I'm going to be using those windshield wiper motions that are very common in the makeup industry. I'm going to be making it a one single intensity. I'm not going to concentrate this anywhere, just on the crease, and I'm going to flick out the outer part of it. Then I'm going to use a shader brush and using the Master palette by Mario and Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm going to be using the blue shade in here, which is called Claudia. I'm going to use this shader brush very carefully. If you own this palette, you must love it because it is wonderful. But it is very creamy, too creamy sometimes. It creates a lot of fallout, and I have to be very careful for this not to look like a hot mess. I hope you don't think this looks like a hot mess. So I use this shader brush just to put this all over my eyelid. I am not really worrying too much on the outer part of the eye. I will go ahead and clean that up later on before doing my foundation. So first of all, I just want to have all this color packed into the lid. I'm going to stop right on the crease and try to keep it as clean as possible. And I don't know why I blew on my face. It was dumb. Then I'm going to use another shader brush, and I'm going to use this EB palette using the gold shade of this little tiny palette, but very pigmented. I'm going to use this shader brush just to put this as an accent of my look. I'm just going to put this in the center of my eyelid. I had sprayed this brush with setting spray before, but it didn't really do the trick. So I just went ahead and diffused it as much as possible, and then just with a tiny bit on my finger, I went ahead and tapped a little bit more, and that did the trick. Then I'm going to be diffusing the sides because I don't want this to be just a circle right there in the center of my lid. And I went ahead and cleaned up right before going to my primer using the Wet n Wild primer. Then I'm going to be using this Shape Tape concealer by Tarte in the shade Tan. This one has an orangey undertone, which is perfect to color correct my under eye. I have very prominent dark circles and I am always tired, so this is wonderful. Then I'm going to use my favorite foundation, which is the Makeup Forever foundation in the shade number 127, and using a beauty blender I will go ahead and buff this right into my skin. Then I'm going to use the same Shape Tape concealer, but this one is in the shade number. This was in the shade medium. I'm going to create this illusion of my nose being very thin using the concealer, and then I'm going to be buffing it out with my beauty blender. This is the very first time I do this, putting this concealer almost right on the bridge of my nose, and I actually liked it. I think I should practice it a little bit more, but it worked, which is good. Then I'm going to be using the Becca Moonstone highlighter, and I'm going to be highlighting the brow bone, and then using a pencil brush. I forgot to kind of blend away a little bit those two shades, the Baby Puke and the Claudia. Then I'm going to do my brows. This one I used the brow pencil by NYX in the shade Ash Brown. I haven't really mastered the brow game, but you know, I try every day, and I just fill them in. That's all I do. Perfect music to do my eyebrows. Keeps me very calm. And I think, yes, that's important. You have to be calm. I don't have a lot of sparse places, so that helps. And this is the face that you make when you realize that you did not set your under eye concealer. I had to go again with my beauty blender because no worries, you know, it's okay. And then I set it with the Wet n Wild banana powder from the same contouring palette that I already hit pan, by the way. I'm going to use the Smashbox sticks, contouring sticks. I love these and I can't wait to get more. I'm going to use this just defining the hollows of my cheeks and by my hairline as well, my forehead, and also on my jawline. Also on the sides of my nose to, you know, kind of create a little bit more of a contouring nose and some shadows right there combined with the concealer that I just placed. I'm going to use my fingers because I feel I have a lot more control with my fingers than with a pencil, with a brush or just a beauty blender. Then I'm going to go in with a beauty blender just to make it barely noticeable so we don't have a muddy face or a muddy nose. I did a little bit more under my lips just to plump them up a bit. And with a Morphe brush, this one is a smaller brush. It has no number or name or anything. It's just one of those sets brushes, and I buffed that out. You could do this with a beauty blender, but I feel this one is a lot smaller than the beauty blender or the sides of the beauty blender, so that's why I use this one. Then I'm going to be using this liquid bronzer that I really liked by the brand Temptu. I received it in my BoxyCharm a few months ago, and I'm just going to buff this out with my beauty blender because with this one, if I do it with a brush, it kind of looks streaky, so I'm just going to do this with a beauty blender. I used a highlighting stick from that same Smashbox trio to clean up my cheeks. I usually do this with a powder, but I saw it right there in front of me and I said, why not? And actually I liked it. Then with my beauty blender, I'm going to be buffing this out because it is really white, or a lot, you know, it's more fair than my skin tone, but I really liked it to clean up. Then I'm going to use this Wet n Wild Mellow Wine blush, and using the same Moonstone by Becca, I packed this on pretty much because it just gave me like an inner glow. I wanted a little bit more, so I did like 3-4 layers of highlighter. And then on my bridge of my nose and the tip of my nose as well. Then I am going to create this eyeliner right in the waterline with just any black eyeliner that I saw in front of me. And then with a pencil brush, I used it to smoke my lower lash with that same shade, Claudia. And this is what I used to define the outer corner of my eye. So I kind of created that triangle, little triangle with this pencil brush. Then with the same Moonstone highlighter, I highlighted the inner corner of my eye. For my lips, I used the Koko Kollection Damn Gina. And then for my eyes, I just added a very thin eyeliner band with the Kat Von D tattoo liner. I was going to put some lashes, but it was actually really late at night, so I just didn't. I just added some L'Oreal mascara, curled them up, and that was it. And then on the bottom, just as a pop of color, I used that same gold shade, and with a shader brush, I just added a tiny bit right in the center, not throughout the whole bottom lash. And this is the final result. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, go ahead and like it and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.